What is up, my beautiful Capricorns? Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. So happy to have you all here with me today. We are going to do your October monthly reads. Ooh, poppers already. Capricorn, how have you been, my friends? So do keep in mind, these October messages are going to be general. That means more than likely, not everything I say will resonate with you. So please do only take away messages that you feel are meant for you, that are intended to help you along your journey here. Messages for your best and highest good. That is my only intention here, is to help you. If something doesn't seem to fit your circumstance or scenario, you can move on. You can push that energy aside. And I always encourage you guys to come into this with an open heart and an open mind. Sometimes messages will resonate with you later down the line, in a few days, a few weeks, even a few months. You can come into this now being open to messages, but again, give them time to marinate, give them time to resonate, right? Everything you want to know about this video will be in the description box below, including the decks I'm using today, including Halloween Tarot, which I thought was appropriate for October. Happy Libra season, by the way. Yeah, so in that description box, decks I'm using in my social media. I'm the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to give that a look-see if you are interested. We are going to hop in for my Capricorn friends. Messages for their best and highest good for Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn. All right, cool. Let's do it, Cappies. I am reading this as beginning, middle, and end of month, but again, take only what resonates. For you, this might be past, present, future, however it seems to fit. All right, so starting off, Two of Pentacles, the Juggler. Two different decisions, two different options, two different paths that could be taken. A tangible choice, though, with Pentacles. It may have to do with your money, with your funds, your bank accounts, what you're investing your time and your energy in, or your money. Excuse me, Capricorn. It could also be people. Ooh, and a burden. 10 of Bats. So that's the 10 of air in this Halloween tarot. Very cute images. I'll try and remember to show you. A mental death of sorts. Something that's been weighing on your mind to the point where you just have to give in and cut your losses. 10 of Swords is a very tricky energy. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. But this is one of your cards. To me, this is talking about the idea of having to multitask, to take on lots of work, potentially things that aren't even in your, I just heard job description, but in your field, in your, in like your skill set. You may be taking on or shouldering extra responsibilities with your family, with, I don't know, even with your friends, taking on responsibilities that aren't necessarily yours. And there was a lighthearted gesture-like quality of like, sure, bring it my way. I don't mind helping. I'll jump in. But something about it became burdensome to the point where it was like, get me out of this situation. 10 of Swords is a long time of a buildup, though. So it's very interesting. It's like the 2 is very early on, but very quickly into it, it became overwhelming. Again, on the mental plane, your thoughts, your ideas, the way you coped with it mentally, the mind, was like exhausting. An exacerbation of sorts. Your mental energy was just done, cut off. Excuse me. Could be working or something involving an air sign, specifically a Gemini. And then you have the Hermit. Yeah, choosing to separate yourself from the pack. Or you may have been involved in a team dynamic, if not 2 with 3. And you may have decided to go solo, to leave both behind. I'm so sorry, Capricorn. I'm going to pause you 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. I was coughing so bad. I didn't want to put you through that. So Hermit mode, going solo, the individual's path. To me, this says something about you are being overburdened or overworked to the point where you're ready to throw your hands up in the air and call it quits, cut your losses. No longer you just going to roll over and take it. There is an element of, I don't necessarily know if it's standing up for yourself and like fighting the man or fighting back. It's almost like a severing because you're going to go off and do something better on your own. Some of you may be looking into going into business on your own, or if it's like some sort of project or task, I am getting separating yourself from the group. There's something about this. It's like the collaboration is no longer working. There's a need of like something about being strung along, feeling like you don't want to, I don't know. I don't feel like it's you who's being, I'm sorry. I don't feel like it's you who was doing the stringing along per se. But yeah, something about, it's like a revolving door that you're caught in. With the infinity symbol, it's back and forth, it's back and forth, it's back and forth. It never gets anywhere. And you're just like, you're done with it. Like it's like you're tapping out. I think that's sort of where I'm getting here. You're tapping out because it's too burdensome. And something about this is like, I can make magic on my own. Internal spiritual journeys, introspection. By separating yourself from this problem, by separating yourself from this chaos or anarchy, this lack of clarity and lack of direction, potentially in a group dynamic, maybe at work. I always get work spreads for you, Capricorn, but this could be a relationship spread. Someone who's constantly playing head games with you and you don't know where you stand, feeling like you have to walk on eggshells, like this back and forth, teetering, like balancing of the scales. You're better off alone. That's what a lot of you, I think, are thinking or leaning towards. This talks about indecision, this or that. So I think some of you are weighing out the pros and cons of this mentally draining team dynamic versus going solo and having peace of mind that at least I'm doing it my way and my way feels right. Like the Frank Sinatra song, I Did It My Way. Or Sid Vicious, for that matter. Right? Didn't Sid Vicious do a cover of that? Sorry. My throat is so dry. I've been doing tarot readings all day. My energy is great, but I'm losing my voice. Bear with me, Capricorns. Let's throw a clarifier on it. I'm intrigued by this hermit mode. Some of you may be dealing with a Virgo or have strong Virgo in your chart. What's interesting, though, is after the Hermit card comes the Wheel of Fortune. So this desire or feeling as if you need that introspection time, that solitude, that alone time, removing the group. There's going to be more clarity that comes to you when you're by yourself, and that's going to, like, progress you forward into the Wheel of Fortune. Whether that's money or just fate, destiny, good luck, good things coming into you. Yeah, mentally moving on, absolutely. Aquarian energy, and yeah, boom, a new offer, money in the hand. It's like when you remove yourself from toxic people or a toxic environment, it allows for more room for the seed to grow. It's an idea, though. For an idea to marinate, an idea that needs to grow properly and be produced, it requires space and time. That's kind of an interesting space and time continuum, but no. It requires time away from the group and space so that your thoughts, your ideas can be nurtured and grow and develop. All right, Capricorn, I'm going to try really hard to get through your reading. I just coated my throat with honey, so hopefully I can not cough my entire way through this. I'm so sorry, guys. Something about this Jester card is speaking to me about having to put on a show or having to put on a mask. Something about faking it because you're just struggling to get through to see the end goal, the finish line. At some point, I think you decide to throw in the towel because you realize that in terms of the experience or knowledge you can gain from this particular situation or dynamic, from this team, from this situation, from this difficulty, this burden, you've realized essentially there's been some conflict and you can come to a peaceful solution mentally by detaching yourself from it, by moving on. And that is when, like, something new develops that can be grown and nurtured individually on your own, okay? So that's potentially beginning of the month. Interesting. All right, so middle of the month, you have the same card twice. Mentally moving on from this juggling, from these two burdens, or this group dynamic where it's like the two or the three of you just don't jive. It's like you're better off going at it alone. Then you have the Queen of Cups, so Cancerian energy. It's potentially what you're headed towards. So either a very nurturing, motherly type energy in your life, or someone you're seeking wisdom from. It could literally be your mother or grandmother. It doesn't have to be feminine, but it does kind of seem that way. Something about a mermaid totem might be, I don't know if they have a jewelry with like a mermaid on it, or that's like a tattoo they have, or something about a mermaid here with this Queen of Cups that you're going to. It could also be I said Cancer, this is the card, but it could also be a Scorpio or a Pisces. This could also represent your boss or some sort of counselor. It could also be a psychic, going to someone who yeah, like they're quite empathetic, and they are nurturing and healing in a unique way. So that could be your mother, as I said. It could be a father. It doesn't have to be feminine, but it does feel very feminine. This person sees, whatever that means to you. So whether that's psychic abilities or just an ability to read you, they know you, they comfort you in a sense. You're very excited to go see them in the middle of the month. And maybe they provide you some sort of relief from whatever this burden was. Maybe they're that person you feel like you can totally be yourself with, like you can take off the mask, the guise of, I'm getting like trying to look and act professional. It was taking a toll on you to the point where, yeah, you were like, peace, I'm out. Because like, I got something better in my hand. I got this better idea, this other seed I want to grow. Maybe you're going to them for guidance or advice. This could be a counselor. I don't typically see it as like a financial advisor. I don't think it's that, but it could be somebody involved in a career that you want to be involved in, or something about nurturing the seed. This person might nurture your seed. I mean, I guess for some of you, it could be a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever that you go to, because I don't know, the idea of like nurturing the seed, if maybe you have children together, or maybe that's a goal. But more than anything, I mean, that seed or that baby can stand for some sort of project or creative endeavor. You're looking for like guidance or counseling from this seer. I am kind of getting like psychic tarot readers. I mean, maybe that's what this is for you. Maybe you're watching this mid-month. Followed up by the Five of Cups. So the total eclipse of the heart. What are you missing out on? What are you not seeing because your emotions are getting too involved? Frequently the Five of Cups has to do with releasing disappointments from our past so that we can embrace and welcome in new opportunities that are going to provide more emotional fulfillment, more abundance emotionally, things that are going to make us happy. But as you can see in this cards, I mean, fives are tricky numbers in tarot. Fives are the agents of chaos, of anarchy, of stress, but there's always important lessons here. There's a lesson here about some sort of emotional growth, of releasing the past, potentially releasing resentment of people from the past, or people who disappointed you or upset you, potentially people on this team or in this group dynamic. It could be a person, but for a lot of you, it does feel kind of work-related. And so maybe it's one person at work, it's possible, but for some of you, this has to do with leaving the familiar behind. It's like you choose to leave this chaos, this mental battle and strife behind, but then you're weathering the storm by going off into the unknown. There's something kind of scary, right? It potentially feels like there could be a tower moment ahead, like something very shocking and unexpected. But I don't know how unexpected it would be. And just to be clear, I'm not getting at the idea of a tower moment. But what I am getting at is that there's fear to move on. There was something about this that I think maybe because you were doing it for so long, it became the status quo. It became very normal and natural to have to put up with like this bullshit on the daily. So it's like something about when you break out on your own, maybe some of you, again, are going into business on your own for the first time, or something like that, right? It could be a smaller example of that. There's something about it that's making you question if you're capable enough to do it on your own. There's a need to disconnect from negative or toxic energy, but it has to do with self-doubt. Detaching yourself from things of the past that weren't serving you so that you can welcome in new opportunities of emotional abundance. That might be some of the guidance you get from this potential Queen of Cups, this Cancerian, Scorpio, Pisces energy. Yeah, even this is Temperance in this deck. The idea of getting advice from the bartender, sharing your story, bearing your soul. There's some sort, and the Five of Cups, it's like there's the 3 you need to leave behind, and then the 2 that needs to be embraced. The glass half full opportunities, the light on the other end of the tunnel, that kind of thing. Something about partnership here, maybe, specifically business partnership. It could be with a Sagittarius, or potentially another water sign. Okay, interesting. This message came through. Whoever this could be a guardian angel of sorts, right? Whether or not they're a water sign or whatever. They shed light on an uncomfortable truth. Wow, that's heavy, Capricorn. This person sheds light on an uncomfortable truth. They allow you to recognize something in yourself that you might be self-conscious of, that maybe subconsciously you're trying to work through it. They bring it up and out into the open. How I was saying, they see there's psychic abilities or clarity from this person without even necessarily picking at it and prodding at it. They metaphorically wake from the dead. Stay with me here. Wake from the dead. Unresolved emotions from your past. Things that you haven't totally healed from or coped with that is negatively impacting your ability to move forward gracefully. Interesting. So this person that you're excited to see, you know, your mom, your tarot reader, your therapist, your counselor, they're a very gentle, soothing energy. But again, forewarned is forearmed. They are not going to lie to you. Interestingly enough, this Queen of Cups is almost presenting as like a Queen of Swords, in that if you're going to ask her advice, she's going to be blunt. She's going to be very truthful about the emotions at hand. And that may bring up something in you that, again, it's unresolved emotions that you feel maybe guarded against speaking about. But this is coming up for a reason. It's telling you that it's safe to exchange cups, emotions. The classic Temperance card is the healing angel, Michael of love, the angel of love, passing cups back and forth. It talks about self-healing. It's also safe to pass cups, to pass emotions, to share stories and emotional experiences with this person. They may be a redhead. They might be a fire sign. It is safe to open up to this person because they are going to offer you emotional healing. Maybe this is your partner. You know, maybe this is your partner, your romantic partner. It's safe to open up to them, Capricorn. Actually, before I jump into that is a good card, but we'll get to there. I just want one more clarifier. What is, like a little preview, what is going to come up for Capricorn? I mean, it might be different for all of you. I don't know, something told me to pull from this. It's like you're excited to see this person, but when you do, it almost becomes a little bit of an uncomfortable situation because they pull something out of you that I'm not even sure you knew was there. It's good. I want to be very clear about that. This is good. The angel of love is showing up. It's symbolic of this Queen of Cups, this angel of love. It might be your mother. It might be your grandmother. It might be a spirit that contacts you if you're into that. I'm not saying it's going to freak you out and surprise you. If you communicate spiritually with your angels, with your ancestors, you might get some sort of message. And ooh, I just got the chills, Capricorn. I think that's for a lot of you out there. Interesting. So you have the Thief card in reverse. This has to do with being secretive. This has to do with, oh, you know what it does? It has to do with penetrating your fortress. Coming into thief, it's not so much about the term thief. It has to do with the idea of clandestine, like secretive, shadowy, unseen, not wanting to be seen, not wanting to feel, wanting to ignore or suppress something. Okay, this is why it's coming up as thief. This is really important, Capricorn. You are robbing yourself of experiences in life because you have unresolved emotions or unresolved baggage from the past regarding your heart space. This is like getting it all out in the open. Thief in reverse, it's illuminating, it's shedding light on something that's sneaky or hidden away, something that's stolen from you. It has to do with stealing from yourself. Like, it's more like the idea of robbing yourself of really appreciating, I don't know, life. This could be life-changing. You have a very huge conversation coming in mid-month, and I am getting, potentially, it has room to be a game changer. This seed that you've been holding in your hand, wanting to plant and like establish roots somewhere, but you've been unable to because of some sort of mental head games, you going off may actually be even subconsciously running away from your problems. And please, no shade, Capricorn. I love my Capricorns to death. You guys are amazing. But it's almost like I think this is all destined. By running away from your problems, ultimately, they come back to the surface. That's why this card is showing up twice. You can run, but you can't hide. You can run and hide, you can run, but you can't hide from your feelings, from yourself. Something about this to me is like looking at yourself very bluntly in the mirror and being honest with your emotions on where you are truly at. Interesting, Capricorn. Clearing the air, clearing your emotional or energetic, I want to say like life force. This is heavy stuff. It is going to make room for this seed to grow properly the way it never could before. So that could be a relationship. That could mean your money flow, your career. There's something from the past that you haven't dealt with. And gosh, like this is just like therapy. This is like therapy vibes to me. And I'm not saying literally. Sorry, Capricorn, my camera froze. So I'm saying this is metaphorically, it's like therapy time for you. It's time to heal those wounds of the past that you've potentially been running away from. Maybe subconsciously, Capricorn. Please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just delivering what the cards are saying here. You're cheating yourself of experiences that could be really wonderful because you're still caught up on the past, on things that haven't been dealt with. So it's like, it's mama time. It's time to come into like mama bear mode where somebody's like wrapping their angel wings around you and like nursing you back to health. Interesting. If you have a Cancer in your life, I would hang out with that person. Okay? So then let's look at end of the month. You had 8 of Pumpkins, which is 8 of Pentacles. This is living in the now. This is the apprenticeship card, the artisan card. Perfecting your skill, crafting your skill, mastery of a skill. Pentacles, so house, home, body, work, money, finances. It's not worrying about the future, and most importantly, it's not worrying about the past, okay? So that to me is very optimistic that whatever work you do emotionally on yourself, again, it progresses you forward so that you're doing the work to make this seed grow, okay? Following the 8 of Pentacles is the Ace of Pumpkins. So another Ace of Pentacles. There it is. We're back in the spotlight. Only this time it's more bountiful. It's more plentiful. Something about this was a missed opportunity in the past. I think because you decided to release it. You decided to let it go, Capricorn. And so some of you, again, I hate to use this phrase because it feels condescending or judgy, and I don't mean it, but something about this card, I have to be honest, the term running away from your problems, it keeps coming up. And here's the thing, it's not a bad thing because everything comes full circle. There may have been a need to mentally detach yourself from this in the past or in early October. But what this is saying, that even if some of you are forced into a situation that is laying over and taking it, literally throwing your hands up and giving up, which I'm not necessarily advocating, but there is something good that comes from that. It sets you off on this introspection, this internal journey of spirituality, of learning about yourself, so that maybe you're sitting on this idea. Maybe you're not exposing that seed to the world. You're keeping it in your hand. It's like saving your pennies for a rainy day. That's what this is. It comes back and you can take advantage of that Ace of Pentacles. Again, these are the same cards. This opportunity that may have been missed out on, or again, you may have just been holding it, sitting on it because it wasn't a proper environment for this to grow and thrive. It comes back so that you can actually do the work on it properly this time because you spent some time healing yourself, right? That's why you went into hermit mode in the first place. You needed to remove yourself from the craziness and anarchy and anxiety of this dynamic to work on yourself, to heal some things that maybe were so far down there you didn't even realize they were still existing in your subconscious. It's like you sit down at the bar, right? You sit down at the bar and talk about your problems, and it opens the window up, right? This little thief that almost exists in your mind or your heart that's robbing you of really tremendous, important experiences. It's like you recognize he's there and you're like, get the fuck out. Like, I don't want you anymore. This is almost like devil energy or dark energy. We're human, right? We have dark and light energies. This is you like kicking the devil to the door. Very interesting. This is by far the most interesting reading I've had, Capricorn. I'm digging it. And I got the chills. Usually that's a good sign. Strength. All right. So the card of Leo. This has to do with being good to yourself, feeding your soul, whatever that means to you, nurturing the seed. And so the seed, again, is going to be different for everyone, a project, a relationship, something with your home or your body or your health. Nurturing the seed, but also nurturing yourself, spending time on your own wellness, spiritually, emotionally. I'm getting a lot of different things here. So it has something to do with no longer putting on a what is that expression? A horse and pony show, putting on tricks, putting on like almost elaborate schemes or falseness, having to wear a mask. This has to do with being authentic and true to yourself. And the thing is, you're still putting on a show. You are still a force to be reckoned with. You are still a sight to be seen. But there's authenticity here. It's not just a person in a silly costume performing for the public. It's like you're taming a lion. You are taming a force of nature in front of the circus, right? Potentially for all to see. You have grand mastery of your skills and your abilities, because you've taken that extra time to nurture the seed that, again, is not a missed opportunity, but it's like you had to go back to the drawing board for a bit, and the drawing board being yourself. You had to work through some things that were holding you back. But once you do, it's like it sets you off on this new path that I think there's going to be a lot of reward and attention from others. Some of you might be literally putting on a show, an art show. I don't like something in a gallery, a performance. Some of you may be musicians. Putting on any sort of like public display of your talents. I think it does have to do with work. It's something about you don't want to release the lion out before it is ready, before it is tamed, before it has been nurtured and trained on how to deal with emotionally those around you. It's something like you can't control what other people think and do. So when you put yourself out there, when you put your skill, your talent, your whatever out there, the lion inside of you, the inner beast, the inner warrior, the inner fighter, has to be very tempered. Temperance. As strength, too. There needs to be something, your emotions need to be very well tempered and balanced so that any reception, be it criticism or praise, it's all taken in perfect balance and harmony. I was saying something about your light and your dark energies. It also has to do with the reception of what you get back from other people. You don't want to put a lion in the circus ring that has never done this before. That's why this is coming up with perfecting your skill. It's 2 8s, by the way. Perfecting your skill before you put it out there for the world to see. I think this idea came to you in hermit mode on your spiritual path. This idea that maybe you were holding in your hand, saving for a rainy day. Eventually, it's time to put it in the spotlight, to bring it up to the surface, to show it to the crowd, to, I don't know, put it on social media, to put it on your website, whatever that means to you, to go public with it. But it's like before you do, you're checking all the boxes one last time. I'm getting something about looking under the hood of a car. I don't know if some of you work in like auto mechanics, or I don't know why that metaphor is coming up. But it's like you're fine-tuning it and you're making sure everything works properly before you drive the car through the parade. Before you put the lion out on a podium to perform tricks at the circus, it's like you're literally like taking his temperature. You're making sure his heartbeat is good. I hope this makes sense. And I think it's more symbolic of not only perfecting your skill, but again, it's the internal, it's your strength, Capricorn. It's making sure that you can handle whatever reception you get. Because maybe fear of rejection has been a problem for you in the past. Maybe that's what unearthing all this uncomfortable emotion with your therapist or with your bartender or with your spouse, maybe that's what this has to do with. You are being asked to raise your vibe and like take a magnascope and really analyze. I think it is how you handle public persona or reception from the crowd, from the group, be it family, be it coworkers, be it your friends group, even maybe your partnership, romantic relationships. You need to be strong and fearless and courageous. And well-tuned, like a machine. Before you bring this thing out into the world, you need to be rock solid. I'm getting like Emperor vibes. Because yeah, you have this new idea coming to you that is quite innovative. And as you have Page of Swords and Ace of Swords. So it's something that has great potential for maturity. Something that you are well skilled in, something you have great knowledge about that you've potentially been working on for a long time. You also have the Lovers, so it's something that you love, something or someone that you love quite dearly, right? And interesting, okay, the depiction of this is so interesting. Dracula coming through the window, the thief coming through the window. This thief could also represent somebody who stole your heart in the past, who, again, disappointment, sorrow, regret, trust issues. It's putting this to rest. If it's not an internal thief of robbing yourself of experiences because you haven't been able to cope with the past, which I think you become aware of. You're welcome. No, I'm just kidding. There's also the idea of the thief coming to your window to suck your blood. The thief coming to your window to take advantage or surprise you or scare you or bully you, to make you feel worry or threatened. This is a card of Gemini. I'm getting kind of two different messages here. Oh, okay. Do you know what I think this is? Because it was coming up with this new innovative idea that's going to take you places, something that you have great amounts of knowledge on. It's exposing something to the world, to sunlight with Dracula, that it's going to take people by surprise, maybe even shock them. But I don't think it's bad. It's almost like, metaphorically, it's going to possess their heart. I think you're going to win the attention or the viewership or followers of many kinds, at least going to be in the spotlight. Something, and because this is such a classic depiction of like Dracula and Nosferatu, you might be working in like storytelling or filmmaking, literature of some kind. Something about an homage to a famous piece of literature that might be coming through here. But it's the lovers. It's choosing who or what you love. And it also does talk about making difficult choices. Maybe this has to do with kicking that thief out once and for all. If that is symbolic of someone who did you dirty, someone who played mind games with you, possibly a Gemini. It could also be embracing that thief. It has to do with embracing your past and acknowledging past experience that you missed out on because, yeah, there was a part of you that felt like you had to hide something or be secretive. Not being your true, authentic self. Finally, it's like you step into the sunlight and boom, it's the truth. The decision has been made. I hope that lands. Excuse me. Let's wrap this up for Capricorn because my voice is going, quite frankly. And this has been a long one. Sorry, guys. And I'm sorry I'm going to have to stitch together all those videos, but take the lead. Yeah. You are the circus master, right? You are taming the lion being you or your skill. You are going to step up. You are going to rise. There's going to be expansion in the development and the growth of this seed, this idea, this relationship, whatever that is to you. It's fire. It's fire in the hand. It's like you're ascending. You're raising it up for the world to see. The light is coming up. So Dracula better do his thing, right? If the light is coming up, he better jump on that, right? Because something about it, it's time sensitive. It's time to come forward and do it. All right, Capricorn, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know what resonates for you in the comments below, and I will see you beautiful Capricorns later. Bye!